But then you move into ability, and this feels like a very different ball game here. Is this about actual talent and know-how?
Well, it's actually it includes that, but it's past that. It's actually about capacity and competency, that somebody can pull off what we're entrusting them. And this is where, George, it really hits the road. Because what we do is a lot of times, she's a good woman. I trust her. She's got integrity and, she's great with the people and this, that, and the other. And let's bring her on the team or bring him on the team and whatever. And they've performed well in, whatever scenarios. But we've never really thought about with what I'm entrusting them with in this situation, do they have the specific capacity for that? I'll tell you an example. You see this all the time. When somebody's a great COO, like I work with, boards and C-suites a lot, and somebody's a great COO and they executed well and they just killed it and they get promoted. The board promotes, it's a transition. They get promoted to CEO and they trust them because they're a great performer with high integrity and this, that, and the other. And then things fail. And so I've gone in before and said, so how did, well, he was our COO and now he's the CEO. And I go, where did he get the E? And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, he was the COO and you made him CEO. Where did he get the E? Well, we promoted him. Yeah, but where did he get the E? See, chief executive, that's different competencies and abilities than an operational. And so somebody's done well here doesn't necessarily mean, even though they have great integrity, they understand, they're most great, they performed in the past, do they have the specific abilities that we are going to entrust something with them for this? So back to my surgeon, he understands me, he understands my pain, he's got great motives and intent. And I go, okay, you can be my surgeon. And then he goes, oh, I'm so excited. He said, because I'm an OB-GYN. I've never done a knee before. This is going to be great. Well, wait a minute. Now
you've lost all trust.
Exactly. And I mean, you see this in every aspect of life. You see people get married. Great person, great integrity, great character, this, that, and the other. But they don't really have the competencies that are going to be needed to make a marriage work.
And on the other side, you alluded to this, but you're talking about there's a difference between integrity and competency. And the next key to building trust is character, which leans into this other side. It's not about your skill set. It's about who you are.
It's about who you are. And I'm glad you used that phrase, who you are, because that's more than the way we normally think about character. When we think about character, we think they're honest and they have good morality and ethics and they don't lie, cheat, or steal. Well, fantastic. They don't lie, cheat, and steal. What do you want, a cookie? My daughters, when they were 5 years old, yeah, it's a low bar. And see, that's what a lot of times we think of character. My daughters at 5 or 6 years old knew not to lie, cheat, or steal, but they're not. I'm not going to entrust them with some big, business project or other thing like that. What is the makeup, who they are? Okay, I can sit around a table with a lot of really high functioning business people, and let's say you got to turn a division over that's failing and it's going to be a turnaround situation. One person, great skills, great abilities, smarts, business acumen, all that kind of stuff, but they're one of those people that maybe need a lot of positive feedback, need things to go well, need to feel good about themselves. Well, this turnaround is not going to feel good for a year and a half. And you got somebody else who their makeup is, they just love to eat problems. They don't need any. Let's just go find the next bad thing and put our arms around it. They've had that perseverance. Now, in some scenarios, I would trust one and not the other, and vice versa. I had a brother-in-law who's a Navy SEAL. And, dude, you talk about going, if the guns are firing at me and some bad guy's after me, I want Mark. I'm going to trust because of who he is. But if my dog dies and I need a shoulder to cry on, it wasn't going to be Mark because that's not who he was. but I got other friends that care, right? In an empathic kind of way. So we've got to know, what are we entrusting to somebody, and does who they are match the specific context of what we're entrusting to them? Sometimes you need courage. Sometimes you need empathy. Sometimes you need somebody that's tough to go into a situation. Sometimes you need somebody that has higher emotional intelligence in a certain way and can move a group and repair a lot of broken hearts. I mean, but you can't just say, well, he or she's a good character, let's go trust him.
Yeah, so this comes down more to their strengths, their personality, their unique wiring versus just morally, can we trust their character? Good call out there. And lastly, the fifth and final key here to building trust in your anatomy of trust is track record. And that goes back to the beginning where I said trust happens over time. If I just meet you, it's hard to build instant trust with you. It's got to be, I've seen Henry time and time again do this thing.
That's right. I in the book, I've got a story in there on track record. I think it's on track record, where my wife and I, before GPS on your phone, you know, when you had to use maps and all that, but you're too young. But
I remember the big flip out, you know, in the car, Mom would have the giant Magellan map. Oh, yeah.
There you go. And then I remember that too. And Mom would pull this out and it blocks the windshield. Now we're in the ditch, right? We're looking at the map. So we're down in South Louisiana, down in Bayou country. We're going down there to visit some friends for the first time. And, you know, we're down on this country road, and I'd stop at a gas station and say, I'm looking for this address. Where's this road? And and the lady goes, well, you can just go down the road, a little ways, I don't know how, not too far, but and you'll see a German Shepherd lying in the grass. And when you see that German Shepherd, just hang a right, and you go a few more miles, it'll be on your left. I said, a German Shepherd? I'm going to see a German Shepherd in the grass? She goes, yeah, he'll be lying there. When you see the dog, just take a right. And I'm thinking, can we have like a sign that's not going to get up and walk away? And seriously, she said, no, don't worry about it. He'll be there. And I said, and she goes, don't worry about it. The dog will be there. Just turn right. I go, okay. I go back and get in the car, and Tori and I drive out there, keep driving. Lo and behold, there was a German Shepherd lying in the grass. We turned right. We found our buddy's house. Now, how did she know that German Shepherd was going to be there? Because the dog's been there every afternoon for the last 10 years. You see, our minds, God designed our minds to build maps. When you came downstairs this morning and went to the fridge or whatever to make your coffee or your tea or whatever you do, you just walked right there, didn't it? You weren't looking for minefields. Your mind has built a map based on past experiences. That's how we negotiate life. So if the last interaction I had with you, what's the track record? Well, it's pretty much going to be built over a pattern. But what if, yesterday I walked down stumbling around after I woke up and go in the kitchen. I tripped over the couch because my girls are home from school and they moved the furniture to play some game or whatever. I go, now I can't trust my map anymore because something bad happened. And basically what leaders have to understand and what companies have to understand, every interaction is building a map. So if somebody's got a problem and they want to come to you and work out this strategy problem or, something wrong with the customer or whatever, and the track record is the last time they took a problem to you, you exploded and got defensive and, called them on the carpet and all this. What are they going to do next time? See, the track record is you don't take problems to that leader, or you don't talk to them about this, or you don't bring failures in. Why? Well, we've learned you don't do that. And it can take a pattern. Generally when you've built a pattern, and when there's a mistake, when you built a pattern, then people actually, because of the trust, they wonder if the dog's not there. One day somebody's go, oh my gosh, I hope the dog's okay, because they trust the dog. So if a leader if a leader has a pattern and a track record of everything's great and something looks weird or screwy or they didn't perform, whatever, people, because of the trust, tend to say, gosh, I hope he's okay or she's okay, or I wonder what happened, because, they always, and we get this pattern that's built on a track record where one mistake can't screw it up. But if you have too many, now you're building a pattern, and a pattern becomes a track record. And so it's no longer the company that missed a product launch that time. We missed it, so, everybody makes mistakes. Now you become known as the company who misses deadlines. See, now it's an identity because your track record, and that's how mental maps are built. So you put all these 5 together. You think about it. If you're with people in a team or a leader that they really understand you and your needs and what it's going to take for you to be able to pull this off and what you need from them, and that they want you to win, and they got the ability to pull off what you're asking them to do, and their character is such, their makeup is such that in the trenches they're going to be able to be the kind of person that you need to do this with, and you've seen them do that before. We're ready. Let's go.